OA Karen called 911. On my BBQ didn't know I was hosting the police chief's retirement party. It was supposed to be a day of celebration. A day to honor the man who has protected and served our community for decades. But little did we know, it would turn into a day of chaos and confrontation. I'm talking about the retirement party of our beloved police chief, Ron Taylor. A man so respected and admired by everyone in our neighborhood that we decided to throw him a surprise party, despite his humble protests against it. Chief Taylor has been more than just a figure of authority. He's been a friend, a mentor, and a guardian to our community. His dedication and kindness have touched countless lives, and we wanted to show our appreciation in the best way possible. So, we planned a BBQ party with all the trimmings, food, music, and even a special ceremony to honor his service. But behind the scenes, a storm was brewing. A storm that would test the very fabric of our community and expose the flaws in our system. It started with a single phone call from an overzealous HOA member named Karen. She called the police, claiming our party was an unauthorized gathering. But what she didn't know was that the guest of honor was the police chief himself. Imagine the look on her face when she realized her mistake. Imagine the shock and embarrassment as the police arrived, only to find their own chief being honored. It was a moment of pure drama, a moment that would change everything. This is a story about community, justice, and the power of standing up against unreasonable behavior. It's a tale of how one person's actions can unite a neighborhood and lead to unexpected outcomes. In this documentary, we'll explore how a simple BBQ turned into a full-blown drama, exposing the flaws in our community's governance and the resilience of its people. Before I continue, tell me where you're watching from in the comments section. And don't forget to like, comment, and hit the subscribe button for more of these gripping stories. Have you ever faced a situation where someone's actions seemed so unreasonable that it sparked a community-wide response? As someone who has lived in this neighborhood for years, I've always been involved in community events and have a deep respect for our local law enforcement. The police chief, Ron Taylor, is not just a colleague but a friend. We've worked together on numerous projects, and I've seen firsthand his dedication to our community. I remember when Chief Taylor first started. He was young, ambitious, and had a vision for our community. Over the years, he's become a pillar of our neighborhood, always ready to lend a helping hand. His retirement was a big deal for us, and we wanted to give him a send-off he would never forget. Our neighborhood is known for its strong sense of community. We have regular block parties, potluck dinners, and look out for each other. It's a place where neighbors become like family. However, like any community, we have our challenges, especially with our HOA. Karen is the HOA secretary, known for being strict and sometimes overzealous. She has a history of reporting minor infractions, often causing tension among neighbors. She's always been a bit of a stickler for the rules, but we've learned to live with it. Or so we thought. Karen's zeal for rules has become legendary in our community. She's reported everything from lawn height to the color of house trim. It's not uncommon to see her patrolling the streets, clipboard in hand, looking for the next violation. But despite her strictness, she's always been a part of our community. Until now. The party was planned with city approval, but we didn't inform the HOA, anticipating potential issues with Karen. We knew she might try to shut it down, so we kept it under wraps until the last minute. The day of the party arrived, and everything was set. We had balloons, a cake, and even a special guest list. But little did we know, Karen had other plans. She had been watching us from afar, waiting for her moment to strike. As we were setting up, Karen appeared out of nowhere, her eyes fixed on us with a determination that was both fierce and unsettling. It was then that we realized this party was about to become much more than just a celebration. It was about to become a battle for community rights. Karen, what are you doing here? This is a private event. I don't care if it's private or not. You're breaking the rules, and I'm going to make sure you pay for it. This was just the beginning of a drama that would shake our community to its core. But how do you handle situations where someone's zeal for rules starts to disrupt community harmony? Do you stand up against them, or do you try to find a way to work together? How do you handle situations where someone's zeal for rules starts to disrupt community harmony? On the day of the party, Karen showed up, claiming it was an unauthorized gathering. She called the police, unaware that Chief Taylor was the guest of honor. The situation escalated quickly, with Karen issuing false citations and attempting to involve other authorities. Karen immediately dialed 911. "I need to report an unauthorized gathering. They're breaking all sorts of rules." Within some minutes, police arrived scene, with Karen explaining the situation. Police officer: "Ma'am, can you please explain what's going on here?" Karen: "They're having a party without permission. It's against the HOA rules." Police officer: "Sir, can you tell me what's happening here? We received a complaint about an unauthorized gathering." Officer: "This is a retirement party for Chief Taylor. We have all the necessary permits from the city. I'm not sure what Karen is talking about." Police officer: "Let me just check on this real quick." Pause. "Okay, it looks like everything is in order here. This is indeed a permitted event, and it's for our police chief's retirement." Karen: "What? That's impossible? I know they didn't get permission." Police officer: "Ma'am, I understand your concerns, but everything here is legitimate. Perhaps you should review the HOA bylaws and city regulations to avoid misunderstandings in the future." Karen was so ashamed of herself because she knew she had already messed herself up. As the situation unfolded, I made sure I documented everything, from Karen's actions to her eventual removal from her HOA position. The community rallied behind us, sharing stories of similar experiences with Karen. It was clear that her behavior wasn't just about this one event. It was a pattern of abuse of power. Neighbor 1. She once fined me for having a garden gnome that was an inch too tall. Neighbor 2. She reported me for having a garage sale without permission, even though it was allowed by the city. The community came together, not just to support me, but to stand up against Karen's behavior. It was a moment of unity and strength, showing that we wouldn't be bullied by one person's zeal for rules. But the climax came when Karen sued me for emotional distress, claiming that my actions had caused her undue stress. It was a shocking move, but we were prepared. We had documented everything, and the court saw right through her claims. Judge: the court finds in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claims are unfounded and lack substantial evidence. This marked a significant shift in community dynamics. People began to stand up against Karen's behavior more openly, and soon, she was removed from her position as HOA secretary. It was a victory not just for me, but for our entire community. As we look back on this experience, it raises an important question. What would you do if faced with a similar situation where someone's actions are causing harm to your community? Would you stand up against them, or would you try to find a way to work together? What would you do if faced with a similar situation where someone's actions are causing harm to your community? The neighborhood celebrated Karen's removal from her position. It was a moment of relief and a new beginning for our community. However, it also highlighted deeper issues with our HOA's governance and the need for reform. We realized that one person's actions could have such a profound impact, but it also showed us the power of collective action. In the aftermath, we came together to discuss how we could prevent similar situations in the future. We talked about transparency, accountability, and ensuring that our community's governance was fair and just for everyone. Neighbor 1. It was a wake-up call for all of us. We realized that we had been too passive, letting one person dictate how we lived our lives. Neighbor 2. But it also showed us that we have the power to change things. We just need to stand together and support each other. This experience taught us the importance of standing together against injustice and the power of community action. It showed that even in the face of adversity, unity and determination can lead to positive change. We learned that every small action counts and that collective effort can achieve remarkable results. As time passed, our community became stronger and more united than ever. We started new initiatives, like community gardens and volunteer programs, which brought us even closer together. It was a testament to the strength of community bonds and the impact one person can have on creating change. Chief Taylor: I'm proud of this community for standing up for what's right. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. The story of Karen and the BBQ party is a testament to the strength of community bonds and the impact one person can have on creating change. It's a reminder that we should never underestimate the power of our actions and that together we can achieve anything. So, how can we apply the lessons from this story to our own communities and foster a more supportive and just environment? How can we ensure that our communities are places where everyone feels valued and heard? How can we apply the lessons from this story to our own communities and foster a more supportive and just environment? As we conclude this story, I want to leave you with a call to action. Share your own stories of community resilience and standing up against injustice. Let's build a network of support and inspiration where we can learn from each other and grow together. Your story matters. Whether it's a small victory or a significant challenge, sharing it can inspire others to take action. Let's create a wave of positive change that spreads from community to community. Remember, every small action can lead to significant change. By sharing our stories, we empower others to do the same. We show them that they are not alone, and that together we can achieve anything. Chief Taylor, I've seen firsthand the power of community. When we stand together, we can overcome even the toughest challenges. Let's keep telling these stories, inspiring each other to be the change we want to see. So, let's keep sharing, keep inspiring, and keep building stronger, more supportive communities. Together, we can make a difference that lasts.